Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over what I think will be the top teams for Open Ultra League. First of all, we're going to go over we're not going to go too high level on all of the Mon that I think are going to be great in this league and that PvPoke also thinks can be great. And then we're going to go into, I think I picked out 4 teams that I like, kind of 5. So let's go ahead and get into it real quick. So here we are. These are basically some of the top Mon in PvPoke for Open Ultra League. So let's go over just the first one, I guess, on the list for Alligator, which is going to be good in its shadow and non-shadow forms. If you notice, it's basically the only Mon on the list that is getting. Oh no, and Empoleon. Sorry, and Empoleon also. They're basically have new moves. So they're almost like the only change in Open Ultra League. Basically, for Alligator, kind of going to take the spot of Swampert on a lot of teams, and we'll see that in one of the teams that I show. And just like in Open Great League, a lot of the Watermon really strong in this league. You see Poliwrath for Alligator, Empoleon, Tapu Fini. They're going to be pretty good. So right off the bat, you just think Registeel's really good against most of those. And even if Registeel goes into the end game with Poliwrath, Registeel is going to destroy that. So you also have to remember Registeel is crazy bulky in this league. That's kind of it on that one. So let me go over some of these. So like Cresselia, Talonflame, Guzzlord, the swords, Virizion and Cobalion, and Registeel and Giratina Altered. You've seen all of them before in the leagues. Not much changes on the teams that they're on. Something you may see, but I kind of doubt, so I don't even want to. I could just put Zygarde complete form on every team and say, hey, you're good. But I don't think I've ever seen one in Ultra League. Not to say you won't see one, but it's going to be super rare to the point that I'm not going to try to go over it. Otherwise, you can just go on PvPoke yourself if you have one, and you can almost put it with anything. So Dragons go good with Steels. Throw it in with Registeel, have a super bulky team. Throw it in with Shadow for Alligator, you're good. Or go safe swap Giratina and have double Dragons in the back behind Registeel. All right, let's go ahead and go into my first team here. Let me switch this scene. Okay, so this is the first team that I'm actually going to try this team, if I'm just going to be honest. Of all the teams, this is the one I'm definitely going to try the most. Using Giratina as a safe swap. Oh, wait, let's go back to the top Mon real quick. Something I almost didn't put on the list was Greedent. Actually, I had it off the list, and then I added it back. Greedent is a very good safe swap in this meta. So for Alligator with Shadow Claw, obviously double resisted from the normal typing, Greedent really only gonna be punished from like obviously Registeel, Poliwrath, but yeah, I also would run Crunch and Body Slam with Mudshot on Greedent. So I wouldn't really run Trailblaze, but you could if that's more appropriate for your team comp. But that's what I would run. Anyways, so back to this. For Alligator in the front with Giratina Altered as a safe swap. So this is the whole reason it reminded me of the Greedent is there are, I think, just basically the 2 main safe swaps in this league. And I think it's going to be Giratina Altered. And that's going to be Shadow Claw, Dragon Claw, and Shadow Sneak, I prefer. If you see a lot more flyers, you can switch off Shadow Sneak and go for Ancient Power. And then, Greedent obviously is like an insane safe swap, even into Giratina. So those are the ones I like. And then I like, you guys know the teams I like. I mean, you've seen it in most of the videos, but I like a Mon that can just sort of pop off with shield advantage, and that's going to be Annihilate. I actually just made this Annihilate yesterday. I actually made the for Alligator yesterday as well. So I'm definitely ready to use either of those. You can either win with shields with for Alligator in the lead, obviously just outpacing a bunch of stuff. The only thing about for Alligator is I do think you need to run Ice Beam. Obviously, this league is filled with dragons, whereas in Great League, a lot of people running Crunch just to have more coverage. So you might be lacking coverage here against the Watermon. But yeah, I think the main point of this team is take out shields with Feraligatr, safe swap into Giratina, and then win with a shield advantage through Annihilate. And on the Annihilate, I'm also going to be running Counter, Ice Punch, and Shadow Ball. Ice Punch for the Dragon types, obviously. Let's go into... Oop, that's the wrong button. We'll go into the next team here. This is basically what I was saying earlier as Feraligatr's taking over that Swampert spot. This team, Registeel, we'll just say it how it used to be, Registeel, Swampert, and Cresselia kind of run in any order. Basically, I'm just replacing Feraligatr with Swampert. Not much to say here. If you've run this team before with Swampert in it, just throw in Feraligatr, and all of a sudden you're getting like 3 more wins in Ultra League. So out of the like 35 possible matchups, so that's obviously pretty good. And then I'm just saying that you can swap out the Cresselia with Giratina Altered. It's just kind of a bulky catch-all. And then the Cresselia is going to be running Moonblast, whereas in Open Great League, mainly people are running Psycho Cut, Grass Knot, and Future Sight. You definitely want the Moonblast. Again, same reasoning for the Ice Punches. Lots of dragons in this league. You need to be super effective against dragon. Yeah, let's go on to the next team. Not too much to say here, obviously. This team's been run for like 5 seasons. And I don't want this video to be too long, so let's go ahead. Next team, I think I pulled this team from Dracovitz's top 12 teams, I think it is. I think Jonkus helped make that list, so I'll link that below. And obviously, Jonkus has a video out. You can check that video. He probably has more of those teams on there as well. But this is basically a safe lead with 2 things that can sort of run through a team, possibly in the back. So instead of the way that I usually play, which is 2 opposing A and Bs, and then a super safe swap which would be Greedent in the back, you can always have a safe swap, a safe thing in the lead, and then you can either soft lose or shield to win the lead, and then have hard counters in the back with this team, or you can so the hard counters in the back, or you can safe lose the matchup in the front, because Greedent isn't going to win a majority of matchups it's in, but it's going to come close in a lot of them. So, and then have a farm down with one of these, and then just win through energy advantage. I will definitely try a similar team to this. I think I tried Skeledirge last time around. If you guys know me, well, it's been a while, obviously, but I don't play too much Ultra League just because the commitment to XLs is very tough. But I do already have a Greedent, so, I mean, that's the only XL on this team, so I'll be using this team as well, probably. But not first one. First one, I want to try out that Feraligatr team. All right, this is the last team I'm going to go over, and it's just because Gallade is in it. So Shadow Gallade is going to be very strong, just like it is in Great League. I'm going to have it in the lead so that if it is sort of a Registeel lead, which this team is pretty weak to. Oh, I also got this team from the list, but I changed it because I didn't like the order it was in because it was super weak to Reggie lead. And so I'm going for an ABB against Reggie and basically dragons as well. Yeah, especially Giratina, because Giratina is very good against Gallade. So I'm going to be safe swapping with... Well, it really depends on the team, but if you're running into like a Giratina lead, obviously you'd safe swap into Tentacruel, and then I'm also going to be running Blizzard on that Tentacruel. As far as the moveset for Gallade, it's going to be the same as Great League. I'm not sure how different it could be. I don't know all of its moves, obviously, but it's Psycho Cut, Leaf Blade, and Close Combat. And then you can always throw a Close Combat at Dip if that's the way you want to run it, or you just super outpace Reggie anyways, and you can just go to the 2s if they want to shield up. Yeah, and then I actually think it's very... I almost said it at the intro also when I was talking about Giratina and Greedent. I was going to almost say Mandibuzz is a pretty good safe swap, but it does have its faults. Obviously, like Registeel is very good against it. Obviously, Registeel is pretty good against both of the others, but it's a little weaker as a safe swap compared to the others, so I didn't mention it as like one of the hardcore safe swaps, which I think is just Giratina and Greedent. So that's going to be it for this video. I didn't want to make it too long, but these are the teams to definitely try out in Open Great League, in Open Ultra League. But if you guys have any other teams, definitely let me know in the comments below. I might make an addendum to this video. Maybe I'll make another video once we see the first day. That's really when you know what the meta is going to be, because right now, us as content creators or whatever you want to call it, these are just guesses of what's going to be strong based on the strength of the top mon in the league. But there might be like 2 or 3 sneaky picks that no one really thought about that really come in and do a lot of stuff in league. One Pokemon I really didn't mention on a team because I personally am not a huge fan of Empoleon is Empoleon, but obviously it is very good. It was good before when it had Waterfall, which is basically no coverage, and now that it's a much better, now that it has a much better move in Steel Wing, it's going to obviously get better. So if you guys have maybe Empoleon teams you want me to try out, I don't have a Shadow Empoleon, and I don't think I can make one. I'll have to double check, but I don't think I do. But if you guys have it, definitely you could submit the battles or just let me know the teams below, and I'll talk about it in the next one. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.